Here in the Midwest, these changes to the federal student aid system have the potential to hit particularly hard. In Iowa, where we are right now, and on farms across this country, farmers often rely on student aid to get their kids through college. Now, though, these changes mean that some students may not have the financial aid they need to get through school. And for other students, the wonder and worry about whether or not they'll have to drop out of school because of losing their financial aid.
People today don't understand the connection with the land.
Family means everything to farmers.
And so we all grew up basically working on farms all of our lives.
That's why Noreen Black has lived on this same dirt road for 70 years.
This field probably produces better than just about anybody in the county, but it's because we take care of it.
It's why her family has spent their lives working this land in Ames, Iowa.
Oh, touch it. There's energy in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
I mean, even right now when it's dormant?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's seed in the ground.
To Noreen, the 250 acres she and her husband farm are priceless. But the Department of Education has decided otherwise. Do you think this would keep more kids from rural communities going to school?
Yes, it will.
For decades, the free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA, has excluded non-liquid assets like farmland or farm equipment from being reported as part of a family's income. Businesses with fewer than 100 employees didn't count toward a family's adjusted gross income.
If that amount disappeared, now you have more debt, and you just keep piling that debt on. And where does that get paid then?
But changes to the FAFSA process could put college out of reach for farm families like the Blacks. Farms now have to report their land as an asset. Same goes for small businesses, meaning college students from those families will be eligible for less financial assistance. The move was made by Congress as a way to streamline FAFSA.
I think our college going rates will suffer because of this.
Mark Waterspan is the executive director for Iowa College Aid. Under the changes, in a farm family with an adjusted gross income of $60,000, a student could receive thousands in need-based financial aid. By counting the value of a farm on paper, though, not just a family's income, that same student's need-based financial aid might drop to zero.
They're not going to be able to afford to go to college.
Over 85% of college students receive some type of financial aid in this country. That's 17.7 million students. It's unclear right now how many students these changes will impact.
We're in the Farm Belt. This is not good for our families.
Wayne Dilley is the director of financial aid for Central College. He already has students worried they'll have to drop out of school next year if they lose their financial aid.
Based on potential changes here, could drastically affect what they're receiving in federal and state aid.
College administrators across Iowa and the U.S. are so concerned, they're calling on Congress to do something.
Yes, it's got to be changed by, I think, this fall.
In an interview with Scripps News, Iowa Republican Senator Chuck Grassley told us he's working with a bipartisan group of senators to introduce a bill that would base students' financial aid on their parents' income, not assets.
This could very much reduce the help that students are getting and then reduce their enrollment.
Without that student aid, Senator Grassley is concerned many high schoolers will defer going to college or take on more loans to pay for school.
You might have to borrow money on your farm send your kids to college because this increase in asset is going to put families in a condition that may be asset rich but income poor.
Then you're talking about potentially more debt.
More debt.
And farmers are already in a lot of debt.
Yeah. They're saying now statistically that you can't buy a farm as a young farmer and go out and make enough to sustain yourself or your family or whatever.
At 70 years old, Noreen Black's concern falls to her grandchildren and whether these changes could prevent them from being able to afford college in the next few years.
You can borrow against it, but now you're twice in debt because, you defeated the purpose of going to school.
For now, farm families will keep working the land like they always do, hoping the sun doesn't set on the prospect of higher education for future generations. And you don't want to sell it?
Oh, heavens, no. This land has been in our family over 100 years. There's absolutely no way. Not on my watch.